Hey everybody, welcome back to Pixel Junkies. This is the Pixel Junkies podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Rory DC.
A new setup.
I'm out of the porch night.
It is new.
A whole new setup. It's not a new setup. We've done
Kind
this
of is,
before.
but we haven't done it with cameras like this.
Please don't.
I mean, we've done that camera before, but not this one.
Yeah. Two cameras.
Cam 2.
So who are the rest of the people who are?
I'm Aaron.
Andrew.
And we have a big list of topics today. Now, Adam
Not that
today, or Adam earlier this week said, "Hey guys, I'm going to buy Black Ops 3. It's really cheap." I was like, "No,
Right,
Adam,
for
buy one of the
$30.
classic FPS on Steam if you want to play an FPS." And he bought Black Ops 3. And Adam, how good a decision was that?
The game is... Alright, I'm going to talk about the good things first, and then I'll get into the bad things, because the bad things will make me rage out and won't make me want to talk about the good things. Good thing number one, this game has a lot in it. I know we're talking about a game that came out in November, but I feel like I should talk about it now. There's multiplayer, competitive multiplayer, there's zombies mode, there's two separate campaigns, one the regular campaign and then another campaign which is kind of remixed levels with zombies. There's a twin stick shooter and there's a free run mode, which doesn't make any sense because your character runs out of breath in 4 feet. But
Well, that's why people buy Call of Duty, right? For free running mode and twin stick shooter.
yeah,
mode.
but it's just something to kind of like entertain you as you're playing the game. Like,
Did
I
it come out
appreciate
that
those...
recently? I thought it came out like 4 years ago.
It came out
Black
in
Ops 3, no.
Yeah.
November.
Yeah.
It was the most
Of
recent.
It's the most
2009.
recent, yeah.
Oh, seems really old to me.
I'm glad that those things came with the game and not with like an add-on expansion pack, because they very easily could have done that. Also, like what they were trying to do with the plot in terms of they were trying to do something new. In this case, the plot centers not about geopolitical conflict, like in every other game, but it centers on your fight. Do you guys mind spoilers?
No.
All right, spoiler alert.
How can you spoil Call of Duty?
The main bad guy is an AI. He's an artificial intelligence.
Aren't they always?
No, I mean, but like an actual AI. No, it's like an actual AI.
Is it Michael Rooker, and can you shoot him in the face in this one?
No.
Oh, that's too bad.
In fact, there's only like passing reference to any of the other Call of Duty games in it.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, oh man, Paul, Raul Menendez, and the one guy's like, Raul Menendez, that guy was an ass, and you're like, well, I guess. And then another reference like, hey, this thing that was in the first Black Ops game is here, and then there's music from World at War, and you're like, oh man, it's almost like I'm living the whole thing here.
Almost like I'm playing a better video game.
Yeah.
So none of the characters from... When does this take place?
2000, I was going to say like 1998. 2065, 2066.
When does the second one take place?
Like 2022.
Oh, okay. So you don't even play as like somebody's grandson or
Nope.
anything? Weird.
Well, you get to make your own character.
Weird.
Now we're going to start getting into the... I didn't play the multiplayer because I honestly can't be bothered. I'm sure it's fine. What?
I'm not sure it's fine.
Whatever.
I have my doubts.
We all know your opinions about Black Ops multiplayer, whatever. Here's big problem with the game. Number one, they hired for the various characters. They hired Ron Perlman and Jeff Goldblum to act in the zombies mode, and they had Katie Stackhoff play one of the NPC characters again in the campaign. Why weren't any of them the main character? Because the voice actor they got for the main characters suck. Both the male and female.
Who'd they get? Bring it up, Andrew.
I have no idea.
We're gonna criticize these people with real names.
and the guy that they got to play your like little sidekick dude, Hendrix, he's terrible as well. I believe his actor was in Days of Our Lives, or
Who'd he play in Days of Our Lives?
I literally don't care. They're
Hope it was Stefano.
Really, really bad, like terribly bad. There is
You can play as a girl?
yeah.
Is it Abby Bramall?
Yeah.
She's not good?
No, she's terrible.
What about
The male
Ken Browder as the male player?
He's even worse.
Oh.
So I don't understand why they couldn't have gotten somebody else to come in and, because Katie Stackhoff did a really good job. I don't understand why she couldn't have been the female main character. Your character is just called player, so I feel like there's no personality behind it. Not that there's any personality to begin with, because the characters are really vapid even for Call of Duty standards. Like, at least at least I didn't outright hate the characters in the past games. Like this game, I was actively hoping that I would be able to kill my my like little tag-along partner, Hendrix. He was legitimately awful, like a terrible character, and his voice actor is really bad. Like there's a part where like something bad happens, and he'll be like, "Fuck," and that's the delivery. And I'm like, "Oh my god, better delivery from that." He's like, "Fuck," and I'm just like, "Oh no."
He does a whisper scream when he's screaming because he doesn't want to upset the neighbors.
There's
Did he record it at his house and then send it to them?
Run away!
The female lead besides the main character is this woman from the CIA who's a badass sniper chick. I didn't know this till I read the wiki online to figure out what the hell I just experienced. Apparently, she and the player character weren't like developed romantic feelings and a relationship between each other. I'm like, really? What the game? I'm reading the wiki. I'm like, what game are you playing?
Is her name Tank Dempsey?
No, her name is Kane. Oh. Rachel Kane is her name, and she dies horribly. Every character.
Is Tank Dempsey one of the character names?
I think every character in this game dies. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, it's a callback to Hamlet. It's sophisticated.
I mean like all of the NPCs die, all the villains die, and the
all the NPCs die.
Yeah.
Oh, ruthless.
Like everyone ends up dead. There's only like 10 characters.
Do you die at the end?
Yes, kind of.
Oh, your consciousness gets absorbed by the AI or something, or you become the new AI.
No, it gets absorbed by the other antagonist, and because you end the game like, my name is Taylor, and like, oh my god, I don't understand what that means because I really don't. Am I Taylor now? That part wasn't explained. They try to do this.
It's Crisis 2 all over again.
The thing about it is they try to do this
Bioshock
thing where like
2 all over again.
They remember like Black Ops 1 where there was a whole mind fuck thing
where it was a good game.
Yeah. No, in this one they tried to do that, and there's some really interesting set pieces in the game. Like there's one part where you're walking through this like really dark watery area, and all of a sudden deactivated robots start coming alive, and you can't use your infrared or like your night vision or your like targeting scope or anything. Mm-hmm. All that's been shut down. So you're basically just like, all of a sudden something will jump up next to you. And that part was kind of genuinely, like it was really fun because I wasn't sure what was going to happen. And then there's another bit where you're fighting through the Battle of Bastion from World War II, because that happens. Don't ask.
But I don't understand. I thought this game took place in 2065.
It does. You go into the memories of somebody who wrote a paper about the battle.
Oh, it's like Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
All right, only not good.
No. And so there's a couple of interesting, like, and when you go into people's minds and fuck around in there's like some interesting sets, but they don't do anything to impact the level design. The level design is still very samey. It's either there are sections that are designed for one person, and there are sections that are designed for 4 people, and there's no sections that are designed for both. Because the sections that are designed for 4 people co-op are brutal to play as in single player, just because there are so many enemies coming at you. You cannot move. You are getting blitzed. Not that it's that hard, because by level 4 I had unlocked a semi-automatic sniper rifle, and I stuck just a regular scope on it, not a sniper scope, and I was killing everything in one hit, just because, and then that broke the gameplay over its knee with a sickening crack. So the level design's not great. The AI is wretched. I don't know how many times I was killed because my NPC partners came up and pushed me out of cover, and I took a round and I died. I'm like, what's going on? And I'm getting pushed out from where I'm hiding, and all of a sudden I get dinged in the head because Wingus decided to come over and take my position. Or there's a grenade. I go to turn around and my NPC character is right there, and I can't move. And I die because I can't get away from the grenade. That's happened a bunch of times, too. The NPCs will just... There was one time where I killed 3 guys in a row because they kept running out in front of me, and they were my own dudes, and I just shot them dead. And I'm like, oh, well, shit. Don't feel terrible at all because the AI sucks. The enemy AI is not better because there are times where I'm trying to get the next part of the mission to move on. The mission won't move on. Like I'll know the door I want to go to, but it won't open. I'm like, what's going on? So I'll backtrack for 10 minutes, and I'll find one bad guy hiding out in the corner that I'll have to kill in order to, and then I gotta run back.
Sweet.
The worst part about this game is I'm playing it on Xbox. It crashed the desktop 8 times, and I mean right to the start menu. It crashed. And then it crashed to the main menu 3 times. And then it did this weird thing where I would shoot and the screen would turn black. And when I would come back, I'd be facing the floor. I could only move in one direction. I couldn't look around or move. And anytime I zoomed in, the top part of the screen would turn a solid color. And the bottom part of the screen would be all, like, staticky. And that happened 3 times. I have no idea what happened there. It was almost like the game thought I was playing, like split screen, which it does not have. Which doesn't make any sense.
You unlock special split screen.
I guess. And that happened 3 times. And there's just poor game design all throughout. Like, there were times where I would log in, I would go to play the game, and it would say, oh, you haven't been logged into to our online server, so we can't access your save data. I'm like, why am I not saving to the Xbox? Couldn't figure that one out. And I would go in, and it would be like, do you want to start the campaign? And I'd be like, no, I don't. I'd accidentally click, I'd be hammering the A button. I'd accidentally click into the, start the campaign. It wouldn't let me back out to the main menu. It was just like, you want to start the campaign now. I'm like, no, take me back to the main menu, not the campaign menu, but the main menu. It's like, you can't do that. So I'd have to exit out to the desktop and restart the game. There were times...
It's a good menu system.
There were times where there was once where I died, and I had to... anytime that camera, split screen thing happened, I would have to exit to the start menu and restart the game. The checkpoints are really weird. Sometimes they have a checkpoint every 2 feet. Other times they have a checkpoint, and there's
It's really always been like that in Call of Duty, though.
I guess, but it's just like...
The checkpoint system in Call of Duty is weird.
There's one time I had to restart the whole level over again because I went, it wouldn't let me... Anytime I went back into the game, it would do that, looking down thing, so I had to restart the whole thing. And it didn't save my level progress, so I had to replay the whole level. I was basically at the end, and I'm like, oh my god. The whole... this game, more than any other game I've ever played, just felt like a slog to get through. It was... Oh, man, it was bad. The new powers that they add don't do anything, because you know how in all the demos, they're like, oh, you have the ability to wall run, and that'll be so cool. That's an unlock. You have to unlock that, and if you get that, then you can't do the cool mind controlling powers, nor can you do the flaming bee power, because you have
flaming bee power.
Yeah, you get flaming little bee nanobot things, and they light people on fire. So I just did the one where you take control of the massive robots. You see a giant walking tank coming towards you, like, mine, and you take control of it, and immediately all your foes just you become Ed 209. You just wreck people. I don't know. Terrible game design. The worst game design I've ever seen. And just general bad design choices all around.
That's a shame. Because
they were trying really hard with this one. You could tell. But the characters suck. The story. I didn't even mention the story. I have no idea what's going on. Because at least in all the other games, like in Call of Duty 4, they say, oh, you're going into Russia to fight ultranationalists. Well, I know what that is. I know where Russia is, and I know why the ultranationalists are bad. Because if it's not blatant, they explain it. They're like, the ultranationalists are bad because they want to launch nukes at America. I'm like, okay, that's pretty bad. I don't want to have that happen.
Does a fish swim away from you in this one?
No fish in this one.
Oh.
Where does the game take place?
That's a downgrade.
It takes place in someplace I don't know, and then Singapore, and then Egypt in a giant Mega City 1 from Dread Mega Tower. And then I think Zurich, and then people's mines, and then Bastion, and somebody's mine, and then in I don't know Yggdrasil, the World Tree was the last level.
So the Black Ops 3, you could say it's a combination of, it's got a bit of Assassin's Creed, it's got a bit of Portal, got a bit of Dishonored with the powers. It's
got all the best parts of all those.
Yeah, I don't know what anything's going on, because it'd be like we're Winslow Accord Special Ops, and we're going up against the NRC, who are allied with the CDP, and I'm like, who are these people? Well, am I a good guy? Who am I? I'm assuming I'm an American because I'm speaking with an American accent, but I don't know. Apparently, the NRC stands for the Nile River Coalition. I had to look up online half the stuff that was going on in the game, and when I was looking up online, before each level starts, there's a little scroll of text that happens that your little mission name gets pulled out of. If you pause that, apparently, it reads out mission reports from the main antagonist. But the mission reports are basically what's going on in the game, but from him. But it's he's doing them, so it's not you as the player doing it, it's him doing it. So I don't know. I'm like, am I Taylor? Am I the bad guy? I don't know what's going on.
Maybe you're everything.
It's like all the fun of Dark Souls, except they don't know what they're doing. It's like we want to make a game.
Of the fun of
we want to make a game that's really hard to understand, like Dark Souls, but we're gonna tell it in a straightforward manner, unlike Dark Souls. And I'm like, what? No. So anyway, it's terrible. They tried. It's a short because they tried really hard.
Black Ops 1 and 2 a lot. I know you didn't enjoy the second one, and I enjoyed Advanced Warfare
with that Admiral Cocksucker.
Yeah.
I hated
his name Frank.
I gotta be honest, Ghost is probably my second favorite COD game.
Really, I didn't enjoy Ghost.
I love Ghost,
but Advanced Warfare I liked a lot, and it seemed like there's a lot of similarities between Black Ops 3 and Advanced Warfare.
Well, it's basically just Black Ops 3 is just Advanced Warfare with less interesting characters and no Kevin Spacey. Yeah. So I don't know, just get Advanced Warfare. You can wall run and do cool stuff in that game. You don't have to unlock it.
Yeah.
So
in conclusion, if you're in the mood for an FPS, buy one on Steam for $5.
Oh yeah, and just one more Call of Duty thing before we end up. They announced Call of Duty, or it was leaked. Call of Duty. No, they announced it. Call of Duty Infinity, which is going to be a space
Infinite Warfare
or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's going to be a space
Call
thing.
of Duty Infinity Wars.
You're going to be in space in the trailer. You're able to go to space in a spaceship, and with it, is more importantly, they're shipping a remastered version of Call of Duty Modern Warfare, the first one, Call of Duty 4, which I'm really excited for. So
they're also keeping that locked behind you pre-ordering the game.
I like that they're going into space though. They're going to challenge Elite Dangerous on that front.
Yeah, I will pre-order that game just for Call of Duty 4 again because I like that game so much.
So will a lot of other people.
Yeah, I know, but I really want that game. So
can I interrupt?
That's going to be available without pre-ordering it like immediately after the game comes out. They're just trying to boost pre-orders.
Yeah. I know.
So it always seems to me like every Call of Duty game that comes out now, just about, it seems like they're rivaling something that came out like just recently before it. Like we saw with Advanced Warfare. It was like, oh, this is obviously trying to be Titanfall because Titanfall had just come out.
Yeah.
And I mean, I guess obviously these games take a long time to develop. And, it was probably in development before anybody knew about Titanfall. But it just...
And then Black Ops 3 came out, and that's trying to be Titanfall.
When you got to release one every 2 years...
That's trying to be Titanfall.
When you got to release one every 2 years, you don't have time to innovate. So you got to...
But it's like, oh, okay, Star Citizen's been announced for a number of years. Let's make Call of Duty Star Citizen Edition.
I think it's dumb that they're going to space. Especially since they have yet to master staying on Earth.
I'm sure there's an alternate reality where you saw Call of Duty Craft and it's just Call of Duty but with Minecraft.
It might be good. I would be shocked if it was $70 good.
Adam enjoyed Ghosts, and that was the last Infinity War game that.
I really did like Ghosts. I thought it was one of my favorites.
It might be actually decent. It might be good. Might be a good game.
I just really want to play 4 again. That game was awesome.
Why don't you play 4 again? With the copy.
It's already available, Adam.
Yeah, you have it.
Yeah, I know, but I want to play like an updated version.
Get on PC.
Yeah, I'm hoping they keep everything the same, but they fix the hit markers. Yeah, but if I played it on PC,
you'd never be able to play another Call of Duty game on console.
No, but here's the thing: I'd be a massive prick about everything. I'd go around like, this tea is not on PC. I cannot drink this.
I'm glad you're super fucking loud.
To have it on PC at 60 frames, 180p.
Oh, that guy in
180p.
The guy in Jupiter Ascending, Eddie Redmayne. He wasn't crazy. He was just PC.
PC
yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. When I heard they were making a remastered version, it's like it's been in 1080 at 60 on PC for like 10 years. But then they're like using new assets.
Yeah,
or something.
They're using new assets, new effects, and all that. It looks good from what we've seen.
Yeah,
and I am excited for Infinite Warfare. I'm excited to see what they do with it. I'm not one of those people that thinks Call of Duty has to be like
good.
Well, on Earth, it has to be like World War II or modern day.
Or I agree.
Like I think they can go crazy, and they kind of are. So.
Speaking of games that take place in past conflicts on Earth, Battlefield 1 was announced. 1, you say? Wouldn't that be the first one in the series? You're asking yourself in shocked disbelief?
Well, actually, in Battlefield's case, the first one wasn't Battlefield 1.
I'm saying that would make sense if the first one was called 1, but they're going by a year system or by a numbering system. So it went Battlefield 1945, Battlefield Vietnam.
Yeah, but technically there was no Battlefields. There was no game that was just called Battlefield.
And then Battlefield 2, and then Battlefield Bad Company, And then Battlefield
There was Battlefield
3.
2142, don't forget
There
that.
was
Oh man, let's not forget about that thing.
But there was no
That was a
Battlefield
great
1,
game.
Adam.
Anyway, Battlefield 1.
There was no Battlefield
is
1.
coming
Yeah, so
out.
they're finally making Battlefield 1 some 8 games in.
Which is
I don't care about the name thing. It doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't
prequel.
matter to me either.
to Battlefield 1942.
I think it's a terrible name.
And 1943,
and it takes
which
place
was
in
good.
alternate reality, steampunk, I guess.
I don't think it's steampunk. Did you
not
see the trailer?
steampunk. It's
It takes place in alternate reality, cyberpunk.
I don't think it
World
does.
War One.
no, it's
No, it
straight
doesn't.
up just World War One.
Takes place in a current reality, steampunk.
If you watch the trailer, it looks like just straight up World War
But there's so many people walking around in trench coats with computers.
No, there's not.
Yeah, there is.
No, there's not.
There's
I
like
was
at
watching
least
the
8
Deus Ex trailer in another window.
It's straight up World War One. I actually think the trailer is great. I think this game looks awesome.
Yeah, it's all
So-
CG though, right? It's gotta be.
It's in engine.
Is it?
Yeah.
So here's the
A
thing
lot of
about.
that animation looked like scripted.
So
It's
you-
not in game. It's in engine.
Yeah, in engine, not in
So,
game.
but none of you
exactly.
guys, you two didn't go to university, Aaron and Andrew. So you're uncultured.
I went to university.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I
I
went to university.
Yeah, he
So
did.
I
you're-
failed horribly, but I went to university.
You're uneducated and uncultured.
Oh.
So I'll have to explain something to you. No, I'm just joking. But why would you?
Game
why-
developers
I was
don't go to
born
university
in
either.
1911. I
Yeah.
know what this is.
But like, then you know that you know it's not a great era for like first person shooters because
I didn't
All
think
right,
so either,
all right,
but I
man.
saw this trailer and was like, you know what?
all right,
This
man.
looks pretty good.
Do you,
3/4 of the game, your
the
tank
enemy-
gets stuck in the mud.
the enemy flag is over there. Charge! And oh no, the whole team died because it's a mile of open ground and they have machine guns. And
I think you should play the general, where it just sort of sits there, just sort of like, go
Well-
over the wall! Going over the wall didn't work for Jimmy.
Obviously, this is a more stylized take on World War One, but it still looks good.
I
From
believe
what
it. I believe
from
it
what
could
I've
be
seen-
good.
From what
I'm not
I've
going
seen,
near it, but
war
it
should
could be
look good.
it reminds me a lot of Battlefield 1942 and Battlefield 2 specifically.
Yeah, but at least in those things,
Because
you could have actual battles.
I
that
want them to
doesn't-
bring that system back, by the way, where you pick individual battles
Sure.
and just do that.
Yes.
Like, I
Yeah.
prefer that over, like, the campaign style they've
Yeah.
been pursuing. Like, I just love the instant battle system that was in, like, 1942.
Or at least have that be like a
and-
secondary mode. Or
I
something.
Yeah,
don't know
exactly,
why they
yeah.
couldn't do both. They could.
Yeah.
Totally
They could absolutely
have
do both,
a
and
campaign mode
it's
and
disappointing because to me that's a need that's not being fulfilled right now in the market. The old like instant battle mode.
that. Yeah.
They probably did a study that said it didn't sell or some nonsense.
The environments look super varied.
Yeah, you can fight in one mud spattered trench or
Did you
another
watch the trailer?
mud spattered trench.
Did you watch the trailer?
I saw a lot of mud spattered trenches and people running around with computers being like, "We need to hack the system."
I don't think you saw
Sweet
it.
Lord, here.
I think this game could be good, but I want them to do old Battlefield. You know, that's what I want to
Yeah.
see.
I think
Don't worry,
old
this is the
Battlefield-
oldest battlefield there could be.
What? Go ahead. You think?
I
old
don't think that can
Battlefield?
exist
game.
now with the current way things are.
I think I know what you're saying. Like I know they're not going to put money into making it.
Yeah.
But like one of the things I really like about like XCOM
Oh, no.
Enemy Unknown, right? Like you remember Enemy Unknown came out in 2012 or 13, I can't recall.
Yeah.
But
It's gotta be glitched out.
it was like one of the great things about it was they were like, you know what, we're gonna do an older thing and we're like barely gonna modernize it. And like they did a lot of modernizing from the old XCOM, but like it's still like really true to the vision, and I want them to have like the guts to do that again. You know, I know it's not the same company, but I want them to make it like that and be like, you know what, we're gonna gamble on this game. I know they're not because no company with that much money is gonna gamble on anything, but I wish they would. I really do.
I'll tell you,
The,
this is
be
the
the
year
beta.
to.
We're gonna have to just.
Oh, what's up?
We're
Andrew?
skipping.
Sorry.
It doesn't matter. You can leave it in.
This is the year to do what they're doing though. With Call of
Beta,
Duty
beta.
receiving a we'll say lukewarm reception right now.
Yeah. Well, the
this is-
Infinite
this
Warfare
is-
trailer has so many dislikes. It's
Yeah.
I love how
ridiculous.
they go the opposite direction. You want spaceships? You're fighting in the trench. We were gonna go with Napoleonic warfare, but we thought that the KD that would affect the KD ratio if you just stood up on either side of a field and blast away each other with cannons.
See, that'd be fun too.
I agree that this is the
I
right
would
year.
like to see their take on that.
No.
I agree that this is
They
the
don't-
right year to compete with Call of Duty. I just wish they weren't doing that. I think they're just like...
Well, I don't think they are competing anymore. I don't think they're like when they were both modern shooters, they
Yeah.
were in direct competition.
Yes.
But now it's like, if you want a future thing, you pretty much have to play Call of Duty.
Yeah, well, if you want a future thing that many years, like that often,
if you're addicted to that future setting,
if you just want a futuristic FPS, I recommend you play another one. But if you want one like frequently, something modern coming out all the time, then go for it, I guess. I just wish they were doing the old Battlefield thing. That's just, oh man, I'm so sad. Sometimes I get sad because there's no games like that right now.
I'm watching the trailer.
It's been
You never watched the trailer?
No.
Don't argue with it if you haven't watched the trailer.
Yeah, there's a horse. Oh man, horse confirmed.
There's a lot of cool stuff in this.
Oh man, look at all that gore and stuff. There weren't shovels in the first in World War One.
No, nobody had any shovels.
This game could be good, but if they keep going the direction that Battlefield has been going, I will not be going near it.
No. Oh man, there was a knight there.
That's
my favorite part of World War One when they brought in like the heavy cavalry and they were like, "Oh man, knights, get in there!"
Go ahead, Aaron.
We haven't had a World War II game in a long time, and I can't think of any like AAA World War One games that have ever existed.
I know that there are like flight games set in World War One, but that's about it.
Yeah.
And I think Verdun is a multiplayer shooter on Steam that's World War One as well.
I like the idea of it, but I'm very little faith in the execution.
I think what's going to happen is everybody's going to log in, and all player characters are going to lose their foot, the trench foot, and they're all going to die of like dysentery or something.
That's like a meta game. There's like a bar on the screen. It's just like trench foot, and it's constantly filling out.
Yeah. Hey, if you want to kill yourself, read the comments on that video because everyone's like, "Why is EA making up a war? Why? Hey, it's interesting to see EA's take on medieval warfare." And then you just want to blow your brains out.
They got to be sarcasm, right?
Probably not. Probably not.
I buy that some of those are not sarcasm. I remember I was watching...
well, that'd be cool, too. A Battlefield somehow medieval.
A friend...
Like
one thing that really disappointed
shit.
me... we had Matt on the podcast. I was watching one of his live streams. He was playing Half-Life 2, which I thought was really cool. Yeah. And all the comments, I was so sad about the comments. They were like, "What game is this? Is this Gary's mod?" I was like, "What?
Is this Gary's mod?"
That hurts.
No one knew what game he was playing. It was a good live stream, though. Props to Matt.
Fucking Gary's mod.
The best comment on this video is for the Battlefield 1 is no female characters liking COD. Battlefield is for men. Thanks, Dice. So good job.
You got him.
So that's what PC brings. That's all PC brings.
Those are the console Battlefield players. Let's be real here.
No, it's
PC. We didn't have any of them back in 1942.
You are
in Battlefield 1942.
There was no sexism in 42.
All those female soldiers running around the battlefields of World War One.
It was only when Battlefield came to console that people started to get weird about Battlefield.
Yeah.
One guy.
I agree with you, Rory. That's a totally accurate statement.
They did make some good Battlefields after that. Battlefield Bad Company 2 was one of the best of the series.
It was a great game.
A great?
It was a great good.
Battlefield 2 had some of the best... Battlefield 2 was amazing. But Bad Company 2 had some of the best FPS multiplayer. In my opinion, some of the last great FPS multiplayer around.
This trailer doesn't fit the World War I theme at all. World War I was a tragic, gruesome, and slow war, not some cocaine-fueled, high-speed roller coaster ride with extra bass music playing in the background. Oh man, it's almost like I wrote that comment. That guy did a really good job.
Adam, if they had it your way, your initial trailer would be a bunch of guys standing in a trench for 5 minutes, and then that'd be the end of the trailer.
No, and then there'd be a whistle, and then they'd head over the top, and they'd all be killed, and then there'd be the rest of the trailer would just be some dude
and then it cuts back to the trench, and you see them all respawn.
And he'd be like, "I'm sorry, ma'am, all 4 of your sons were killed. You don't have any offspring left." Because this was a terrible war, and it didn't need to happen.
And then it cuts to her hanging herself in the backyard.
Yeah, you're getting World War I.
World War One.
I think that.
So Dishonored too.
Well, hold on. I think that it just quickly reminded me of something when you mentioned about the bass music. When does that dubstep dragon fighting game come out? where you're like a DJ and your pal's a dragon and you kill things.
The super Japanese one.
What even is that, and when does it come out? Because I
Oh,
remember seeing it at
Dragon Ball or
E3, and I
something.
don't
You mean
know.
the excellent game
Some
Scalebound? That
Yeah.
hasn't gotten.
Oh,
Unfortunately,
Scalebound.
that hasn't gotten a release date yet.
Oh,
man. I will say, because you couldn't listen to it, the trailer is set to a dubstep remix of Seven Nation Army.
A dubstep remix of Seven Nation. Oh, well, that's good.
Well,
yeah, just ruin the White Stripes.
The actual song, Seven Nation Army, great song. It would actually go with the trailer, I think.
Don't you love it when there's a
the
song
dubstep
that they could
remix, not so much. It is
No, dubstep in World War One. No.
Man,
It
you'll
is
be
a-
dropping
it is
the
a-
bass like people will be dropping their foots after they get them sawed off because of trench foot.
It is a remix by the Glitch Mob.
Drop them
Wait,
foot.
So it's not a
Glitch
bad,
Mob, the best World War One band name.
Yeah, it's not a bad song. I just don't know if it goes well with the trailer. That's what I'm saying.
To be fair, you could argue that there were 7 nations participating in World War One. In fact, there were.
That's probably why they picked the song.
Yeah, there you go.
I'd call it coincidence, but
I don't think so. I don't think so.
There was more than 7.
But
There was
they
20.
I think they went with the dubstep.
There was 20.
The dubstep remix
More
of the
than
song because it sounded more like the
Man, it makes me want to grab my Doritos.
like the Battlefield theme.
It's Doritos though.
So
How many Doritos you gonna eat for this?
that's more of a Call of Duty thing.
Doritos.
Well, it's a
Oh,
pro
no, hang
gaming
on.
thing. I guess
It's
in
a
general,
it's
yeah.
a PC game, so I'm gonna have to go out and buy myself a lot of fedoras and get a neck beard.
Yeah. I'm like 98% of the way there.
Dishonored 2 got a release date.
Yeah.
It's November 11th, I believe.
11/11/11.
Which is a holiday, so good luck buying it on the day it comes out.
I mean 11/11/16.
Or you could just get it
PC, PC.
Or on Steam.
or download it on Xbox, which is also doable.
Guys, maybe you can just play it on whatever you want and not get upset.
Yeah, but if you want a physical copy,
I'm not. I'm just suggesting I'm going to be getting it on PC.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter.
PC.
Yeah,
Like,
and
like
I'm
a
saying-
sane person would.
and
But
I'm-
you can just, just pick a game. Pick.
Oh,
Play the game. Don't play the
Dishonored.
system.
Let's face it, Dishonored is going to be amazing on all systems. They're great at that. I played Dishonored 1 on the PS3. Phenomenal.
Sure.
Terrific.
no other Dishonors have come out, so we have one example.
Yeah. But yeah, so I'm just like
I
beyond
imagine
excited.
Dishonored 3 is going to be good, so
Dishonored 2 is my most anticipated game of the entire year.
What if it's garbage?
It won't be. I trust Arcane too much.
Have you played any of their past titles?
Dishonored 1 in
Yeah,
particular.
Anything before that?
Nope.
You never played, what is it? Is it Might and Magic? Damn it.
I don't think
Is
it's
it
Might and Magic.
I lost it.
Heroes of or Dark Mud.
Yeah, Dark Messiah.
No.
Yeah,
It
there
was
you
a
go.
great game. There's another one.
Really?
Yeah, fantastic game.
I forget who makes Might and Magic, actually, now that I think about it.
It's
Richard
Ubisoft
Garriott,
owned.
I'm pretty sure. It's not Richard Garriott.
No, they made another one too, which I haven't gotten to, but it's well received.
Have a gun too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, Dishonored 1 is one of my favorite games of all time, and I cannot wait until the second one. It's the best, in particular because it has some of the best game design I've ever seen in terms of allowing you to play through it in different ways, but all of those ways are fun. Like, some games are like, hey, you can play through it stealth, or you can play through it like crazy run and gun, but the game obviously prefers one of those two. Whereas Dishonored, it is, although it's a stealth game at heart, you can play it in whatever style of stealth you prefer, which I think is terrific. So just, yeah, it's got a release date, so I'm super excited. What else we got?
Just very quickly, you guys know what Vampire the Masquerade
Yes.
all that is?
Yep.
It's a really cool pen and paper RPG that
Really cool.
that some people take or it's kind of
way too serious.
yeah, and it's one of those things where like like how some people prefer vampires to be like the old Dracula, like very high-born, sophisticated, that kind, and other people prefer their vampires to be brooding, trench coat wearing Anne Rice people. This falls very heavily into that second
Oh, is it
category.
and rice people? Continue.
Who's Anne Rice, for people that don't know?
She
Not
wrote
me.
She wrote was it Interview with a Vampire? something like that, and that's kind of started the whole like. That was the basis of Vampire Diaries or True Blood or Buffy or I don't know, the Count from Sesame Street or something.
Well, there's also
some of those shows are good.
Yeah, like Sesame Street.
Not what I was thinking about, but all right.
There's also space in the universe for the very monstrous vampires as well.
No, there isn't.
Yes, there is.
No, there isn't. They're either highborn sophisticates as meant as a metaphor for corruption, or they're supposed to be sexy, and there's no middle.
There's it's not the Gangrel. It's the
You mean Nosferatu?
Yeah, but you can play as the Nosferatu.
No, you can't.
Yes. What? Yes, you can.
No, you can't. Not in my games.
Oh.
You're sexy in my games. You have to be.
Oh.
You have to wear.
Oh,
leather.
right. You're playing it the right way.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I've always liked the I kid. This game's actually really good at establishing the lore and letting you play what kind of vampire you like. You can either be this kind of bestial, what's
I think Shadow
what's
Plays
that
making
vampire
it
movie
shitty.
in the north?
30 Days of Night.
Yeah, you can be 30 Days of Night vampire. You can be, True Blood vampire. You can be Dracula vampire. You can be Nosferatu vampire. You
It's
can't
great.
be Twilight vampire. So
Yeah, Shadow Plays
That makes it much better, though.
And you guys watch True Blood by chance?
I have. I've seen the first 3 seasons.
I'm not really, I thought it was, I wasn't ready at the time for the kind of show it was. I thought the show was about vampires, and it's not.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's about...
For the first 3 episodes, it's like, where's Jim Bob? Well, Jim Bob went to jail. Why Jim Bob went to jail? I don't know. We gotta go ask Maudette. Well, where's Maudette to? I'm like, are there vampires in this show?
True Blood refers to the fact that there's been no outside source of blood in their genetics for several generations.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite vampire shows.
Oh, really?
I love vampire shows.
I don't hate the show. I think it's all right.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. I was just at the time I was not prepared.
The actual vampire parts of the show are pretty good.
I believe that. Why did we mention Vampire the Masquerade?
Anyway, there's a new Vampire Bloodlines trademark that's been filed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so
That's good.
there's a possibility of a new title coming out.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
Andrew, you own the current one. So
Bang,
Do you
bang,
mean the one that
ching,
came out
bang,
years
bang,
ago?
bang,
Yeah.
bang.
yeah, the really old one that's on Steam.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines,
Bloodlines,
one
yeah.
of my favorite games of all time. It's
Yeah.
so good. It's one of the
Very
greatest
well
RPGs
received.
I've ever played.
Yeah. The available for
Off the cliff?
I think it's about $20 right now on Steam.
Go off the cliff.
Yeah, and it's totally worth that, but it goes down a lot cheaper during sales.
Yeah, well,
Just go down there.
It's a big candidate for sales,
Yeah.
which is good because the Steam summer sale will be starting in the vaguely near future.
Yeah.
One would
Bang,
assume.
bang, choo, choo,
Yep. So
bang,
if you don't
bang,
own
I
that,
love you.
you should get it, or you can just wait for
Wait till the
possibly
sale.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, or even this
It's
new
a
one
big
comes out.
old chasm.
Who knows? Anyway, Aaron,
I think we found... Oh, I'm not even going to say
What?
how is Forza Motorsport 6 Apex Beta?
I can't even keep track of this list here because that was on the top, and we've talked about like 10 things.
Yeah, we're in order now.
Okay. Yeah, so the Forza 6 Apex beta came out yesterday as of recording this. And I don't know why it's called a beta because it seems like all of the content that's going to be in it is already there. And it already has 1,000 gamer score, which you can get. Which is alright, it's a free game. But I suppose the trade-off for that is there's a lot of microtransactions.
The best kind of transactions.
And they were there in the last 2 or 3 motorsport games, which I was more okay with because they were much less prevalent, and you could play the game without ever knowing they were there, and that was fine. In this one, it's much more structured towards actually buying these cars. The way the game works is there's a currency in the game rather than money. It's like experience. So once you achieve a certain amount of experience, you unlock these cars, and when you gain more medals, you unlock more cars, and you need to do more races to get more medals and do like pass a car perfectly or get drift score or something, and then you'll get an extra medal rather than just coming in first. Which is fine, except for a lot of the races, it's structured in like tiered levels. So when you do the next race, even if you have all the potential medals you can unlock, you only have access to like one car in the next race. And then all the other cars are like, get access early. All you got to do is give us $1. It's like, all right, well, this is stupid. And it's, rather than just saying I'm going to pick this car, there's like literally a flashing orange icon in the top of the corner of the screen. It says like buy now. And it's really irritating.
That sounds like the perfect game for me.
Yeah, but it is free, and it is just like the other Forza games. You don't need to buy them. You just have a lot less content.
Is it
at
pretty?
the start? That's the positive to the game, at least. Is it is very pretty.
That star just disappeared.
What? It was a ship, I think.
It was a ship coming out of Super Cruise. I just came out of Super Cruise. Whoops. Anyway, yeah, so it does look very pretty. It'll go up to 4K if you have a 4K monitor, which I don't, so I just ran it in 1080. Runs at 60, very well optimized. It somehow looks like a smoother 60 than on Xbox. I don't know how. I guess it's just the way the GPU buffers the frames or something. But it seems like there are some things in at least Forza 6 that run at 30, like the reflections in the mirrors and reflections on the car run at 30. The rain, what?
That sounds gross.
It's disorienting when you're like playing the game. It's really smooth, and you look in the mirror and it's like stuttery. You're like, what? The rain on the windows.
We're gonna time warp, guys.
I didn't really notice it because there's a lot of like movement, it's kind of hard to keep track of individual points, especially when they're not the focus. But the rain on the windshield in the console version is also running at 30. Because in the PC version now, it looks way smoother than the console version.
Why wouldn't they just have everything
nice.
run on 30 and for the console just to make it smooth?
Well, because they're not really that noticeable. It's not noticeable changes, really. I mean, you could, if you're looking at the mirrors or at the water, you could kind of pick it out, but it's really not that big of a deal. My one complaint is it feels like an Apple product, and I guess this is like. Let me explain.
The worst thing you could
It is the worst thing you could say, and that's
why do you have
to
go out and before you can get in your car, and you have to buy a special adapter because
it seems to me
the cars don't use keys.
Shut up, Adam. It seems to me like they're trying to streamline this whole console games coming to PC. It's like they're making the PC more like Xbox, not the Xbox more like PC, and I think it's backwards thinking.
Oh, I hope
because
they do that.
when you run the game, it basically. For one thing, I wanted to put it on Steam and launch it from Steam so I could have it on that list.
Right.
I couldn't find the EXE anywhere on the computer, even through running
because I don't
searches.
I'm not convinced there is an EXE.
There might not be, and I looked through all my app data files everywhere. I could not find a single file that was just Forza, which is annoying. And then when it runs, it just basically goes full screen, and you have the option between low, medium, high, and ultra settings. That's it. There's no like aliasing options. There's no resolution options. There's just that's it. Whatever it runs at auto on those 4 or 5 presets,
Yay!
which is also stupid. But all that said,
oh wait, maybe that's the feature of it being a beta.
Maybe
it's a Doom beta situation.
I assume they mean beta because they realize everyone's going to complain about how stupid it is, and they'll just be like, "All right, well, we'll add this shit now."
Yeah, hopefully
or maybe
they'll add
it
in that
the next
for the full release, because that would be incredibly disappointing if it didn't have that in the full release.
You're more optimistic than I am.
That's 2 Jupiters and 2 Saturns.
It's possible because this is literally a console game on PC. So maybe like it wasn't designed with all that stuff in mind.
I believe it. Yeah.
So I'm hopeful in that sense.
It could be worse. They could be charging money for this.
I wouldn't.
Agreed.
It's definitely like a good Forza experience, especially because it's free.
Is the DB11 in there?
No, but it's also not in 6 either. Yet anyway, which they may or may not add. I think they're pretty well done with the DLC now. But it's fun for being free. If you're someone who likes Gamerscore, you can get a few hundred in like an hour or two. It's not that hard.
And remember when Gamerscore used to mean a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
A year ago.
I do like how I do like how it's directly tied to your Xbox account though, And unlike Games for Windows Live, it actually works without having to fuck around with it for 45 minutes.
Games for Windows Live, yeah, that's...
So as soon as you launch the game, you're on your Xbox, basically, and you just get the benefits of it running.
Oh, that's good.
Good. It is really well optimized, I will say.
Oh.
So, if you want a car game on your PC and for some reason don't like the other 45 simulators already available, then try out Forza.
And if you want to try out Forza for free, this is a pretty good way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aaron, how's Elite going?
Good.
If you were to make an impression about this beta, what would it be?
Is it because I wrote impressions? I can't even see it anymore. Where is it? Oh, okay. Yeah, I decided to just play it for this podcast rather than talk about it because the change log is literally like the Bible in length. And there's a lot of little changes all over the place. The biggest ones are all the new weapons they've added, all the new weapon modifications and module modifications you can make, like you can have a longer jump range or more powerful weapons. All the weapons and modules now scale, so based on how powerful it is, how much power it uses, how much damage it does if it's a weapon, or how good it is, basically determines what it sounds like and what sort of visual effects it creates, which is really cool. So now you can have beam lasers that are like gold or blue, or rather than just them all being orange. You can have shields that shimmer in like blue now, or purple rather, which you could do before, but it was a much more expensive shield. So there's a lot more visual effects and a lot more modifications. You can change beam lasers into like healing beams that regenerate shields, or heat rays, which cause modules to overheat, which is pretty fucking cool. They retextured all the planet surfaces, so the planets on Ultra are much higher fidelity. Pretty much, they've changed everything. All the interface is different. They've changed a lot of the sounds, so ship sounds a lot cooler. It's really awesome so far, and the way the beta works is usually they don't usually focus on balancing it in the beta. Well, not beforehand, but they'll focus on balancing it as the beta progresses, so that when it comes out, it's balanced. But the cool thing about it not focused on being balanced when the beta initially releases is how OP some of the stuff is. And right now, they added a huge... I'll just haul them out, actually, because I can. So let's drop. They added huge beam lasers, which there's small, medium, large, and huge class mounts, and they're all different things. So before there were some weapons that weren't available in specific classes, and beam lasers was one of them. So now I have the beam lasers on this thing, and this is one ship. Oh shit, hang on now. This is one ship that has two huge weapon mounts. So I have two huge beam lasers on the back of it, and they're fucking awesome.
Those are large.
They are quite large.
Man, it looks like some sort of ventral cannon, even though it's on the dorsal side. Fire the ventral cannon. It's like a reverse
ventral cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah, I also have they added large and huge multi-cannons now as well, which are...
planet?
Can I blow up? Just pull a fucking Star Killer and blow it up.
It's called a Death Star?
It's the Star Killer. In the
Star Killer base.
You mean a Luke?
A Luke, yeah.
Yeah, it was a Diluc base. And that's not a huge one, but it's a large multi-cannon. Which is basically a minigun. And for scale, that's like the length of two cars.
I never understood why they're called miniguns. There's really nothing mini about them.
Let's find out why. I'm sure there's a reason.
I guess they're based on like large artillery cannons, but they're in smaller form. I don't know.
Guess.
Yeah, I believe that. That makes sense.
So are you gonna fire the big beam guns?
That's what they do visually.
The mini in the name is in comparison to large caliber designs that use a rotary barrel design, such as General Electric's earlier 20mm M61 Vulcan, and gun for the use of rifle. You know why it's called a mini gun? It's because it uses ballistic rounds.
Okay. I thought it was called gun because it was made by
called gun?
Rufus G. Gun.
Oh, Dr. Rufus G. Gun.
Yeah.
Dr. Gun.
Also invented
What is that noise?
the banana split. It would be the fridge.
Yeah, that's the fridge.
You can turn that off if you want. I can turn it off. Fuck it.
I don't know where the plug is.
Well, unplug it. That's how I broke the last one.
I hope you fly into that planet. You just... Oh, no!
Your last one broke because you unplugged it?
I assume that's what caused it.
Man, that's a sweet fridge.
Well, not they see.
We need Danny Glover to come in here and tell us how we can slingshot around a planet to get back to another planet.
I read after my old fridge broke.
Huh?
I read online that you shouldn't unplug them frequently because
Martian.
I'm glad everybody else was talking.
What does Danny Glover have to... Oh, that's Donald Glover.
Whatever.
Danny Glover was
Because
in...
He's too cold for this.
Danny
shit.
Glover was in Lethal Weapon.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, yeah, I read that you shouldn't unplug them frequently because there's
Yeah.
the lubricant in the back, or whatever you call the coolant.
Yeah.
It gets, when the pump is cut off by unplugging it, it gets stuck in the pipes, and then that causes the motor to overheat the next time you run it, and eventually it burns itself out. So I'm assuming that's what happened to mine. So now I'm just turning the dial on it. So
Yeah, just generally unplugging things like that, actually, it can be problematic.
especially a fridge. It's not something like you just people hauling fridges out and unplugging them.
Can you fly into the rings?
Yes, I'm going to go here because this is a resource extraction site where a lot of miners are and therefore a lot of pirates.
Wait, so you watched The Martian after?
This is also something else
what'd
that
you
they
think of
added is ice mine things. Assuming this is an ice ring.
It's good. I really liked it.
Yeah, it was good.
I thought it was going to be more like a Castaway kind of thing where it's like, man versus the elements. It was more like funny man versus the elements, which was really nice.
It won Best Comedy because the Golden Globes don't understand what comedy is.
Like The Martian?
Yeah. It actually did win Best Comedy. Which
I wouldn't have even accepted that award. I would have been like...
Can you imagine being Matt Damon and going up there? And...
Yeah.
It wasn't funny.
That texture.
I agree. He was funny. I agree with Adam though. He was funny in the movie. He was funny in the movie, but it was definitely not a comedy.
Yeah. The best part is when he's like, "I'm gonna die."
Everyone laughs. Laugh track.
No, the best part is when he's like, "I'm gonna science the shit out of this."
That really is a solid movie though.
The Lord of the Rings joke was all right.
Yeah.
The just a good movie. Did you watch it on Netflix or something?
No, I was over at my friend Katie's house when we watched it.
Oh, right on, yeah. First time she'd seen it as well?
No, she's been wanting to get me to watch it for months.
Oh, so she likes it, presumably.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. I thought I was gonna hate it, but it's good.
No, yeah, it was solid. It was one of my favorite movies from that year. I mean, it didn't make my top list, but still one of my favorites. I don't think it might have made Aaron's top list.
Martian?
Remember. Yeah, I think it was on there.
I think it was. Maybe it wasn't. In retrospect, I don't. It was. Yeah, it was okay.
Yeah.
It was a solid film.
Andrew, you have still not seen it.
I've seen it.
Oh, you have.
It's a great movie.
Can you?
Speaking of The Martian, Alicia Vikander is playing the new...
Alicia Vikander.
Whatever her name is. Is playing the new Lara Croft
Is she
in the movie.
Is she playing the pair of pants from My Favorite Martian?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
So, yeah, she's terrific.
My favorite? Is that the one with...
Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
I think that's what it's called. Isn't it My Favorite Martian?
Or is it My Uncle Martian? Because he was the uncle.
Oh,
I think it is My Favorite Martian.
Yeah, it is.
Man, that was a bad movie.
Remember the part where the pants could talk?
Yeah.
Alicia Vikander is terrific.
Yeah, she's great.
She's good. She'll be a good Lara. I'll be good. Stop shooting at the Federals, you stupid point defenses.
Super
Jesus.
not thrilled about the team working on that movie.
Oh, yeah.
But,
did we talk about this?
we've talked about it in person, but
okay.
not on a podcast.
Alright.
Yeah, just not thrilled, just in general.
What have they made before?
The director has done a lot of obscure Norwegian films, and the writers have done Mutant Ninja Turtles and Transformers.
Oh, the best ones.
Yeah.
Oh!
That's who you want working on a Tomb Raider movie.
Okay, we're good. Oh, sorry.
I don't know. Hopefully it'll be alright.
Oh, something that...
I actually really enjoyed the Angelina Jolie, the first movie. I thought that was a fun movie. It wasn't a great movie. It was
Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
No.
Wanted.
The Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
I have the box set for Wanted.
Why?
That's a good movie as well.
Box set of
enjoyed
what? Box set of one movie.
It's got a bullet you can curve. It doesn't actually curve.
Because that would be dumb.
Yeah.
James McAvoy was in that.
Yeah. You should read the comics. I enjoyed the comics.
I heard the comics are actually really good.
Yeah.
It
has nothing to do with the movie at all. Not really.
But yeah,
That's
so
a big ship.
mean, like, She's
really
good,
not
but I've always
Fire's
said that
gonna die.
actors don't make movies.
No,
You
absolutely.
know, like a good like
Angelina Jolie made the first Tomb Raider movie.
a bad performance can be enough to like ruin a good movie, but oftentimes a good performance isn't enough to save a bad movie, just because performance is one of the many elements.
Right.
One of like a really large number. So
Ed Norton can make a movie. But this is literally because apparently he's a control freak and he doesn't let he takes
Yeah.
all
see,
the-
it's different if Ed Norton is doing all the jobs of the movie. Yeah.
Was it just the Hulk or the Incredible Hulk that he was in?
No,
The
he
second
did that in a lot of movies.
Was that incredible when he was in?
He was in
Well,
the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, the
The
one
second
he was in is called The Incredible Hulk.
The
Yes.
Ang Lee.
The only reason that movie was good was because of him.
Yeah. There were some good fight
Was it
scenes
good?
though.
It was it wasn't a great movie. It was definitely a watchable movie. It was a decent Marvel movie, I'll
Best
say.
MCU movie.
Oh man,
No, definitely not.
I think you were talking about Thor too.
Best is also a synonym for
Malekith,
first
who-
with Rory.
the villain that they replaced all personality with.
Yeah.
Because
The,
Malekith is supposed to be this sociopath, and they just made him.
It started off early enough that people didn't really know what was happening with the MCU, so it didn't like condemn it forever.
Yeah.
The
Like I said, it wasn't a bad movie, but
No.
it's definitely not a fantastic one either.
Are you talking about the Incredible Hulk? Oh man, I detect heresy. Speaking of heresy, Dawn of War 3.
Oh, hey Adam
Yeah.
or Rory. I'm not gonna say
That's a
Aaron because I know
segue.
you definitely haven't. But have you played any Warhammer? Like actual Warhammer?
Yeah, when I was
100%
back
all
in
of them.
junior high, I played a couple of games.
Have you actually played Warhammer? Have you played Warhammer? No.
I
Doesn't
haven't
know.
either. I have a
That's
lot
a
of friends
negatory.
who are into it.
I played a couple of games,
But
but
I've played a couple games too.
But I like the world. I think it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Do you like the actual game?
I can't really because it was junior high when I played it. It's very complicated
And yeah.
and very expensive to get into, which is the
Yeah.
only reason I'm not into it. Is because
Yeah.
it's expensive and time
exactly. It
consuming.
is really expensive.
And time.
I
Yeah.
wanted Anaconda.
Anyway, you don't have to get super expensive because you can just buy one of the Dawn of War games.
It doesn't have the Tau for the greater good, so I won't be buying it because it doesn't have the Tau. They're my race.
Oh.
Except I don't care.
I played it a couple times
Or
in junior high, but I have this really like nationalistic dedication to this one race in the game.
No, I keep up with the lore because I like the design for the armor and stuff like that. And just,
Oh, okay.
Isn't
Yeah.
one of the races
Wait, you
locked
like the
behind a
design
pre-order
for...
wall?
Sorry, Aaron?
Isn't one of the
No,
races
no.
locked behind a pre-order wall?
Andrew's
Or is that
about to
different
criticize you for not liking
no,
the design in Warcraft.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. I like the design for the Tau. I like the design for the Tyrants, and I like the design for some of the orcs. Look cool. I hate the design of the Space Marines. Well, not some of the most of the Space Marine stuff because it's is that overplated, huge armor, bulky thing. But I like the Eldar. They're an interesting looking race. Some of the Chaos races are okay. The Necrons are pretty cool looking. I'm losing you, aren't I?
Yeah.
Eldar Space Elves.
Yeah, the Chaos are a pre-order race, I think.
Yeah,
Or
so
they're free for
I-
first week, I think is what they said.
This is just Warcraft in space. Adam? That's what this is.
Oh, that absolutely different.
Look, she's a Warcraft.
Yeah, but I'm talking about the units. Wingus. Anyway, this is making great. Anyway, it's interesting
I don't wanna
universe.
download it.
This is one of 3 games coming out in
This is really cool,
from
look.
Warhammer. There's this. 4. Because there's Total War Warhammer, which is based off of Warhammer, not Warhammer 40k, so the fantasy one.
Mm-hmm.
There's.
Can I just point out before this gets blown up? He has no power right now. He's still alive, but he cannot move.
Blow
So
the
he's
shit out
he's
of
just
him.
gonna get blown the fuck apart by
Are
the
you
Feral
shooting him?
Navy. I'm not shooting him right now, but
And
I can.
Use your mega cannons.
There you go. He's gone.
Yay.
Was that a player?
No, it wasn't a player.
There's
That'd be hilarious,
there's Dawn of War 3, which is an RTS, which the trailer looked pretty cool. There's Space Hulks, which is a first-person shooter, I think.
Yeah, it is.
Because the first one was like a because they're called they're going into derelict spaceships that are huge, massive hulks.
When I first heard of space,
like a wreck, like a Hulk as in a wreck.
Yeah, I know. It's
I thought it was a Marvel thing when I first heard it.
Now, Hulk has been the space.
like Jake Gyllenhaal's
I'm
movie
pretty sure
Nightcrawler when I first
Space
heard.
Hulk comic?
Well, I mean,
Isn't Space Hulk like?
I don't
wasn't
know.
that a thing?
Well, I mean, his son is from space.
Space Hulk.
Scar, I believe
Hulk's
is his name.
son is from space.
Anyway, there's
So is that
Dawn
the
of
next
War
Hulk
3,
movie
which
they're
is a
doing?
land-based RTS.
He shoots off to space.
And
in
then
the
there's
last Avengers
Battlefleet Gothica, which is a space RTS. Rory, you're talking about a game called Warhammer 40k. We're not talking subtlety here in terms of name.
movie. I'm getting shooted. What?
Oh.
Anyway,
The people
that's
at
coming out.
the
Looks
people at the
interesting.
naming department deserve a Nobel Prize.
It's called Warhammer 40k. I don't,
Is that the year?
Yeah,
Oh God, we're gonna hit
it
it.
might actually be the year. I can't remember. I don't think it is.
I always assumed.
So what does it
was.
mean?
It does take place in the 41st century. I
Well,
think.
that's not 40,000.
Yeah. So okay, there we go.
So what the hell's the 40,000 for?
Well, it's to differentiate it between regular Warhammer, which is fantasy.
So I just call it Warhammer 2.
That sounds
Aaron,
like a
it's all-
sequel to Warhammer. They have to make it ridiculous.
No, they should have called it Warhammer and then Warhammer 1.
Yeah, no,
Warhammer
Oh!
that's more
different.
accurate.
Warhammer different.
You know what would have been a better name for Battlefield?
Warhammer 40k.
No, the Great Battlefield.
Yeah. Actually, I like that.
While I agree with just if it was just like the game was Battlefield and the name was the Great Battlefield, I agree. I think it would have been harder to sell like the Great Battlefield Bad Company 2.
Huh?
I think there becomes too many words when you. Oh,
No,
you mean
no.
the new Battlefield?
Yes.
Yeah,
Well, that's, oh yes, I agree.
Specifically because of the Great War.
Yeah.
World
Yeah,
War I.
actually, that is a good idea. That is a
The
good idea.
greatest
Did you
war.
come up with that?
I just made it up.
Oh man.
I
Sometimes
should be 100-air.
You're not though. You're
No,
should be
I'm
the
not.
head of the-
I have much less money than
You
that.
should be the head of the naming department
man.
on Space Hulks.
Yeah.
a new
A fight's
new
about to break
manager.
out here.
Anyway, that's coming out, so we're all excited for that, I guess.
Yeah, hopefully it's a good game because the others have a huge fan.
Speaking of Space Hulks, Han Solo is getting the movie.
Han Solo's getting his solo movie.
Is it
thought-
just going to be him falling down
Haven't we
that
known that a
pit
while?
before it blows up? He's just like, Ben, no!
It takes place after that.
No, it's got to. Hey, you know what? The best part is, it's not. He's not being played by Harrison Ford.
Oh,
anymore.
is he playing by Steve Buscemi?
No.
Riot! He should have been played
Steve
by...
Buscemi, isn't he just as old as fucking?
Yeah! I always had him pegged as Han Solo, or if not Steve Buscemi, then Gary Busey.
Yeah. No, the new actor is Alden Ehrenreich.
I'm
Was
pretty
that the
sure
guy
that's
who
the
played
werewolf
Fantastic
so bad.
Man or whatever?
from Twilight.
What? Alden Ehrenreich.
Isn't that
Yeah,
the...
but it's just like you start the name, you're like, it's all, and he's like a long stop.
Well, it's
Yeah, fair enough.
EHREN.
tell us
It's
what he's been in before. Tell us what he's been
I
in
have
before.
no goddamn idea.
Isn't he
Oh,
the
man, you
werewolf
just
from
fucked up.
Twilight?
No.
Was that the guy in Fantastic Four?
We can only hope not.
Or was it that? It was between the guy in Fantastic Four and
Oh,
the guy in
sorry, your phone
Divergent.
over here. Here,
Oh, he's in Beautiful Creatures.
You don't like that movie?
He's. You know what he was in? He was in the untitled Han Solo Star Wars
I've heard
anthology.
that's
film.
really good. Is that the one where he's like, Ben, no, and then he
What's
falls
his
down a
famous
pit?
stuff? What was?
He was in Hail Caesar, or Caesar.
Man, that shit's
He
taking
was
a
in
pounding.
Teenage, which is a documentary.
He was in
Beautiful Creatures. Stoker.
Blue Jazz.
Stoker. Who did he play in Stoker? Who is this guy?
Bram.
Whip. He played Whip.
Whip.
Somewhere. He
was
played
in-
actor at a party in Somewhere.
Oh,
He
wonder if
played-
he was really just an actor.
He
at a
played
party.
Sven in an episode of CSI.
And he was Ben Collins.
Was that a dead
in-
guy?
Was it CSI Norway or something?
No.
CSI Oslo.
He played Ben Collins in Supernatural.
Is he also going
For
to...
how many episodes?
One episode.
Okay, that explains why I don't know who that is.
Aaron, what
Also,
ship was
Supernatural's
that?
been running. You know what
It's
I
called
want?
the Clipper, Adam.
Why?
You know what? I love to get into like lore of TV shows and universe when I watch a TV show or video game or anything, right?
That's why your favorite
Uh-huh.
TV show is...
The Angel.
No, I was going to say The View.
Yeah, and so anyways, but like sometimes I'm watching Supernatural, right? And the thing's been on like 12 seasons now. And like I haven't been watching it like straight the whole time. Like sometimes I take a break from it or whatever,
Oh,
just
no,
like
you
everyone
don't.
does. And it's like they're still referencing stuff as if I'm supposed to know it. Like just once in that show, I want them to be like, well, Dean, what about the time we did this? And Dean be like, no, Sammy, I don't remember that. That was 7 years ago. It was a really weak season.
Don't you know you're supposed to be
Viewers were
taking,
barely paying attention, Sammy.
You're supposed to be taking notes when you watch the show.
What are they fighting now in Supernatural?
I don't know because I'm not
Each
on the
other.
current season.
Felicia
I'm on
Day.
like
Oh!
they pretty much do fight each other like constantly.
All right.
Like the show is two brothers arguing. Like the
No, well, one should actually become the big bad of the season, and then
And then
one
they
of them
kill it?
actually dies at the end of the season.
yeah, that happened in season 5.
No, but I mean, literally permanently, they're gone from the show.
It's just one main character left.
Well, they bring in like the hot cousin or something. I don't know. The hot girl cousin, and then
What's crazy is this
then
like
you got some sex appeal.
this wouldn't even like surprise me if they did that. Like it is a solid show, but the universe is very large. And like with Angel was like had a big universe too, and that was 5 seasons. This is like 12.
I think Seth Rogen should have played Han Solo in this movie.
Does this guy look enough like Harrison Ford to play a convincing Han Solo?
Yeah,
Well,
I'm gonna go
they can
mainly
do
in the
stuff
acting.
with
I know
makeup
they
and
green
stuff.
screen his
Joseph
face.
Gordon-Levitt doesn't look anything like Bruce Willis.
That's true. And I
No,
thought
but they
did
still
a
fucked
great
that
job.
up though.
I thought they did a great
His
job.
ears were wrong.
No, his ears were.
His ears were wrong.
They were dead on.
No, they weren't.
And they
They
make
were
Sarah
wrong.
Jessica Parker
But
not
I mean,
look like a horse.
you can do some crazy stuff now with like a solid makeup
It's all
department.
CGI. Sex and the City is all CGI.
A good makeup and like and
Are you ready
costuming
for the
department can do some.
They can.
Well, I mean, like look at what
Oh,
they've
that
done
was
to
3
Matthew
taps.
McConaughey and everything looks different and so many like look at him in like True Detective for instance, like when he plays older Matthew McConaughey, like that is like scary good.
Yeah.
Or like in Star Trek when they got Patrick Stewart to look like an older Patrick Stewart, and then 30 years later he doesn't look anything like old Patrick Stewart. He looks like young Patrick Stewart. So, because I don't know what that man is.
I gotta take another look at Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Aaron.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt's earlobes, he basically doesn't have them. They're like attached
I
to
think
his
they
head.
should have gotten that guy from
Bruce Willis has
Terminator's,
massive hangy
the Sarah
earlobes.
Connor Chronicles to play Han Solo.
I didn't actually like that movie Looper. That
You're
much,
right.
but I thought-
His lobes are off.
Oh yeah, no, the ears are wrong. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, Aaron's right. Yeah.
It was the
good,
first
though.
thing I noticed when I
The
saw that movie. I
tops
was
of
like,
the
this
ears
is
are right.
throwing me off.
Because the tops of the ears they did do effects on, but they couldn't give him a lobe.
I think they should get
They should just have shitty little plastic things that hang down.
Yeah.
Who's the again?
And
Andy
fly
Serkis
off
to play
halfway
Han
through.
Solo. Just give him the CGI the whole thing.
Why not? Why not? Anyway, that's happening.
I
Hopefully
think
it's
David
not
Schwimmer
terrible.
should play Han Solo.
David Schwimmer.
I could have tried to think of the most ridiculous thing I could think of.
I
That
think they
would
should
be
get
the worst one, that would be
you know
David
who, you know who's
Schwimmer.
really hot in Hollywood right now? Jennifer Lawrence. I think she should play Han Solo.
Why not? Gender bent Han Solo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that'll fit right in with with the established history.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
Disney's
maybe.
doing whatever the hell they want.
And then at
Maybe
the end,
they got a
at
sex
the end of the
change.
movie, it'll be it's like, you know what, Chewie, I am gonna get that sexual reassignment surgery. And then,
Yeah,
and then
that's
it
the end of
da-
the
da-
movie.
da- 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 da-
Yeah.
da- da- da.
It starts with Jennifer Lawrence, and then it turns out Han Solo was born a woman. At the end of the movie, he gets a sex change, and that's where he meets Luke like 2 days later.
That would be so funny to watch because
And
so
then
many people would
a new
lose
episode
their
of 4 comes out where he has
minds. I would
scars all
want
over his
to.
face.
I'd do that just to have the internet hate me.
What?
Then Jennifer Lawrence play Han Solo and have her go through a sex reassignment.
Well, just
surgery.
refer to Jennifer Lawrence as Solo for the whole movie. Like, oh, maybe it's his
And
mom
her name
or
is Hana
something.
or
Her
something.
name is actually Solo.
Maybe it's his mom. And then
Call back to
Oh,
Interstellar.
good time sex change.
I hope they keep the backstory where he was an Imperial pilot, but he left when he found out what they were doing to the Wookiees.
Oh, by the way, I finally found a thread on the internet talking about the Cooper thing.
Oh yeah?
Yeah,
What?
finally, after years, people have realized
What's the consensus?
After years.
that.
Came out 2 year ago.
Year and a half.
Yeah, but a solid they didn't start talking about it for a solid few months after our video about it, and apparently there's some debate of whether it actually is Cooper. Apparently there is a legitimate case that the name might not be Cooper. but I'm gonna look into it some more.
Cooper, real estate home.
But they say we named him Cooper.
Yeah, there's a whole, but apparently there's a whole like debate upon the exact specific wording he used. Apparently left it somewhat ambiguous. I'm gonna rewatch.
Well, maybe
the movie
maybe when they got married, like, or maybe they never got married. That was the thing. So he said it because he was giving him his dad's last name and not his wife's last name.
Yeah, apparently I left it open a little bit, so I'll rewatch and check it out. Check it out. The what else we got on the topic list there, Andrew?
We have Stardew Valley is getting co-op soon.
Ooh,
Yep.
that's interesting. That's genuinely interesting. So, that game looked.
It's a fun-ass
Really
game. The guy said they were going to implement co-op from day one, but he said he wasn't sure if he should release it and add co-op later or wait and put co-op in it, and everyone said release it now, so he's like, all right. So that's what he's doing. And they're changing a shitload of other stuff, too, which... One guy is doing all of this. He's getting some other people to help him, I think, with like online stuff. But one guy made this whole game. So it really begs the question
Just
how
like
a studio
Black
of 200 people
Yeah.
can't fucking make a game that works.
I know. Yeah.
It's mind-blowing the amount of stuff this guy's done to this game, especially in the short
Whoa,
amount
you're
of time.
blowing my mind!
Blowing. Anyway, yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Blowing my mind like I'm blowing the field.
I agree. If you have a passion for something and you're a solid developer, you can create lots of great things. And if
and make lots of money.
if you don't, you can make.
this guy
you
made
can spend lots of
$1
money
million
on something that doesn't actually turn out that
$500,000 in 2
well.
weeks or something
Yeah.
like that. A couple $1 million in a couple weeks.
Yeah. What did this guy make before?
Nothing. This was it. This was his first game. First. He said he.
Could have copied Undertale.
He said he started making Stardew Valley as a test to himself. He started out cloning Harvest Moon, which obviously is what the game is.
Yeah.
But he said he started cloning Harvest Moon to teach himself how to program, and then eventually he said as it got more and more, as he started teaching himself more and more stuff, he just said, "I'm just gonna make this into a game."
Right on.
So he did.
Aaron, if you're ever flying through these rings, do you ever just go flying is for droids as some guy shoots at you and then uses sonic weaponry in space?
Oh yeah, man! I can't wait to do that. Sonic boom weapons.
Good movie.
That was the best part of that movie.
Fuck off, Rory.
My favorite.
It's actually I think it's in my opinion it's the weakest of the prequels.
Yeah,
but
It's
weakest of
very
all
weak.
movies.
It's garbage.
yeah, it is the weakest of all the
Better than
Star Wars
7, though.
movies. I agree, it's the weakest of all the Star Wars movies, but I thought it had some.
My
It
favorite-
had
quite
great
like.
scenes.
My favorite part
Yeah.
of that is when they're flying through the asteroids. It's like, we'll just have a little surprise for him, and Django's like,
No, Boba's like...
oh yeah,
So-
Bulba's, sorry.
Yeah.
I didn't know about Yaddle until like last week. I sent you guys that link
Yeah.
from the
How do
Wikipedia.
you not know about Yaddle?
Yaddle's
Yaddle's the
like
best
Yaddle.
Yeah,
character
he's like-
in the movie.
I'm pretty sure he's in Han Solo, the
It's a she
untitled
also.
movie.
Yaddle's
Yaddle-
a she.
Yeah.
Yaddle is the mastermind of the whole thing. She was the Sith Lord the whole
Oh,
time.
just someone posted on Tumblr just like on May the 4th. They were like, yeah, sometimes I forget there's a female Yoda. And I was like, what?
Never explained. Also, look up the name. Look up Jedi Master Oppo Ranciscus. I think his name is, or Oppo Rancis, or something like that.
I hope it's Oppo
Rancid.
Ranciscus, though.
Rancid.
Oppo Rand.
How are we going to Google this?
I got it.
He got it. Yeah, there you go. He got him.
Oh, this guy's the best. He's
I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on, but is there a beard coming out of his eyes?
He's the best one.
And
Just
make
for
sure-
real, though, like, is there a
make sure
beard
you
coming
throw-
out of his eyes?
Yeah. Make sure you throw up a picture of Jedi
Yeah, well,
Master
send me
Oppo
it because I can't
Ranciscus.
see what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Send
yeah.
him the link.
He's a Thespiasian.
Send him the link.
What does he do?
He's a Jedi
Sits
Master.
in a chair.
Is he famous for any
He
battles?
sits in a
No.
chair and he dies.
Yeah,
That's what
essentially.
happens.
His force ability is to die. He's got force death.
He actually turns into the kid.
Order 66.
In Order 66, he actually turns into that kid, and he's like, "Oh, Anakin will say,
66.
like, Master Skywalker, there are too many of them. What are we going to do?" And then he dies.
What are we going to do? I hate
A
that
moat, kid. You got a moat.
kid. I hate that kid so much.
But Master Andrew, what are you going to do? Anyway, what else is there?
Well, they show his scene. He says Order 66. And he just pulls out a handful of D6. He's like, I'm gonna.
And bullets went straight into the garbage.
Oh, that's good. All them snotty tissues.
Yeah.
Yeah, snotty.
They are snotty too.
Why are these two shoes sticking to it?
Because there's snaps in them.
Oh.
I'm gonna get shooting.
Jedi Master Hobo.
Go to the camera for that.
Speaking of Star Wars, hey, do you guys enjoy Titanfall, or have you in the past?
Yeah, that's a fun game. I like the part where
I do, but I wish it was a Star Wars game.
My favorite thing about Titanfall is that Aaron has something from Titanfall and no one knows what the hell it is.
What, that Atlas
Yeah, that no
model
one
right
recognizes from Titanfall.
I made two
the
Titanfall
game where you're climbing
posters.
Mount Olympus
Nobody
with the
bought
Titans,
them.
and Zeus is like, fall, and he hits them with light, and they're like, "Grr,"
Yeah.
and they fall.
Yeah.
And then you kill Poseidon, and then kill everybody because the oceans rise.
Hey,
So-
do you like Call of Duty 4?
Yeah.
Well, the guys that made that made Titanfall, and they're also making a Star Wars game.
Is it? What is it?
Nobody knows yet, I don't
It's a
think.
third-person action adventure.
So, is it Star Wars 1313?
Probably not.
Well, I don't care. I
Jedi
want that
Knight
game to
3
come out.
should be Jedi Knight 3.
It should be 1313. Well, Jedi Knight 3 should be first person, shouldn't it? Because Jedi Knight 2 was first person.
You could play it third person.
You
Yeah.
could play it third-person.
Yeah.
Also,
I was better first.
Dark Forces 2 was third person? Or is it just third person with lightsaber?
Third
person with
yeah,
lightsaber.
we used the lightsaber
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Dark Forces 2. It switched to third.
Yeah, that's precisely
Oh,
it.
wait, now.
That's right.
It did.
I hope it's
You
about
could play it.
You could play it first person though as well, I think, right?
I think.
I don't remember. It's been so long.
I don't know.
They should make Jedi Knight 3, that's my point.
Make a first person game with lightsabers, please.
There is one. It's for the Kinect. And it's
No, a good one. Make an actual game.
Um,
Also VR
That's
support.
not first-person, by the way.
no.
No.
Yeah, also that's not.
I hope.
There is
that-
a lightsaber one though that's first person, I think, isn't there?
No. No, you're
yeah.
just it's a third-person thing.
10 out of 10 Connect.
I hope you're. I hope you're playing. I hope in this game by the Titanfall.
Oh, we got a player
makers,
in here. Look at that.
I hope that you're playing as Oppo Ranciscus and Yaddle.
Yaddle.
The
The
yeah.
Yaddle RPG.
The untold story.
Commander Jaguar, eyes clean.
The terrible terrible 2.
Stop shooting it. Oh, that's good.
The
These friggin'
the
piece of
dreaded
shit.
duo.
Is the player shooting at you?
No, it's an NPC.
Oh.
Anyway, the making the Star Wars.
A player
game,
is
I
too
think
smart.
about
He
it.
would not shoot me here. There's too many Federals.
Yeah, that's all we know about it.
Nothing.
What's Manus VR, Aaron?
Gloves, basically.
Oh.
VR gloves that track your whole arm.
Why not just use the Power Glove though? It's so bad.
And definitely compatible with the Vive.
Aaron, why not just tape the controller, those Vive controllers onto your arms?
That's pretty much what that is, actually.
Oh.
But I think that's because it's a prototype. They have the tracking stuff in the controllers. So it looks like they're going to be releasing gloves for the Vive at some point in the
Does
future.
it have
Should be
tactile
cool.
sense?
Yeah, do they vibrate?
I don't know if they were fingerless or not. I'm not sure.
I hope they have fingers.
But it would be cool if they were haptic, right? But again,
I don't know if the technology is there yet, though, to support.
yeah, I'm not sure how
Tactile.
Yeah, I guess you could just charge them, though. That'd probably be fine.
You should call them finglers.
Man, I am getting rinsed by this
You
fucking
know what's
eagle.
stupid?
What?
You know how I always complain about
Finglers?
the PS4 controller's LED?
Yes.
Well, like,
It's a dinosaur.
The,
He's your favorite. Yeah.
although, like, oh, I've seen it. Although there's, like, although the case made for that was the motion tracking and stuff.
Yeah.
Why does the LED need to be on when I'm watching Netflix? Like, what? Like,
Oh,
I
it is
I
evil.
just thought about this the other day. I'm like, well, what about the things that don't require motion tracking? Like, most of the things I use my PS4 for. Like, most of what I do with my PS4 now is, like, Netflix and Crunchyroll.
Well, see,
Like,
it's to keep you so you don't spend all day in front of the TV. You can only spend so many hours a day. And just-
before I have to plug the controller and
Yeah.
move the table closer to me.
Yeah, exactly. You can only spend, like, well, in the
Oh
case
my
of the
God, I
PS4, you
have
can only
so
spend,
many
like,
fucking
20 minutes.
people
Yeah, 20 minutes and it's gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you gotta plug it in. It keeps you healthy.
Yeah.
Who is Jarl Poth?
Me.
I'm just looking up Jedi Master. Oh, it's this guy.
Come
Which guy?
on.
Oh, that guy!
Boot.
He was in the movies.
Yeah, he's the long neck dude who I honestly thought was Kaminoan, but there we go. Which I'm like, we don't know what Kamino's is. Wasn't there one servant on the
Fucking
council?
Anyway, I think that does it for this week's episode. we're going to see Civil War. Anybody have any predictions or anything?
I think the Confederates are going to win.
Who? What team are you guys on?
I'm on the Union.
Team Iron Man.
Aaron's on Team Iron Man.
Because I don't like slavery.
Andrew, you have to pick a team. Are you on Team Iron Man or not Team Iron Man?
What team is Spider-Man on?
Iron Man.
I think he switches, honestly.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to say this. During Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. last week, they had a TV spot, sort of an extended scene. Spider-Man is not in it, but I think it was towards the beginning of the
some
film.
Old man getting shot.
Uh,
Dear Uncle Ben, no! And it cuts.
Not really. I won't mention it because I'm sure you guys don't want to hear it, and I'm sure people don't want to hear it either. But it was a pretty awesome fucking scene. I think it was towards the beginning of the scene because Black Widow and Falcon were in it, and I don't think they're on the same team, and like the PR train. So I'm pretty sure Spider-Man shows up, is on like Team Captain America, and then switches to Team Iron Man, or is it vice versa?
That's what happens in the comics. Is he was?
Or does he switch to Team Captain America?
No, he starts off on Team Captain America, then switches to Team Iron Man.
It looks like that's sort of what's happening.
And that
here.
contrived plot nuisance, and then he, you know, that eventually led to One More Day, where he makes a literal deal with the devil to save his aunt from a gunshot wound to the chest that nobody else on the planet can seem to cure. Not the Sorcerer Supreme, not Tony Stark. Not Mr. Fantastic.
Not a surgeon.
So Andrew, pick a side.
No.
Andrew, pick a side.
I gotta pick a side?
Andrew's on Team Spider-Man, apparently.
No.
I was Team Underoos.
No. I'm on Team Hulk.
I hope he comes in.
He's gonna be disappointed.
Everybody Hulk fan's gonna be very sad in this one.
I want
See a bunch of people going in with Hulk shirts on.
Yeah, I want the end of this movie to cut to like the after credit sequence. It's just Hulk sitting in the canister or wherever he flew away in.
Canister.
Yeah, the
Quinjet. He
The
flew away in a
best
Quinjet.
adventure. We gotta get to the canister.
The Hulk shooting off in a garbage can.
Get to the canister.
He got his knees folded up.
Was he in a spaceship? I don't know what he was
I think
in.
that's called a Q-jet.
Spaceship.
Quinn.
Quinjet.
Did you even see the damn movie?
Get it, man.
So
he flies off in a spaceship in a canister.
All right, so Andrew's on the worst team ever.
Yeah, I want to cut to that, and I want to see him like just stand up and then run full speed out of the
Running out of battery on this one. Clued up.
Because he just gets fed up of being in space, and I just see him float off into oblivion.
All right, Adam, what team are you on?
I want that to
Team
be
Captain
the
America.
movie.
Okay.
And I want him to, as he's suffocating to death and just bloating from exposure.
What team are you on, Rory?
I want him to
Iron Man.
shrink. I want him to shrink back. It's Ed Norton.
Why is everybody on Team Iron Man?
Because Iron Man's clearly better.
No one likes Captain America.
I think
that's my favorite.
No, I'm on Team Iron Man because I think he has.
I hope the Maximals
I think he's
win.
right in the grand scheme.
All right, so we got 3-1 here.
He is right, which is what pisses me off.
More than 3-1 if you count any of the other people I've talked to about this vote. Adam is the first Team Captain America person I've come across.
That's why I bought the shirt.
Also, it'd be fucking hilarious if Hulk doesn't show up in this movie at all, which he's not going to. But if at the very end everybody else is dead and it's just Tony and Steve standing facing each other, and then you just hear like a, and then Hulk just squats Captain America into the ground, and there's like a huge blood splat, and then credits.
They should have a reversible
That'd be
shirt. It's Cap on one side and Iron Man on the other, so you can decide based on the movie live in real time. Just going crazy.
But then have a massive tag on the Captain America side, so it's obvious.
It's one of those shirts you can pull up. You can pull up.
Right, exactly.
You want to choose sides.
I'd do that, but it would literally melt the camera.
You can also make like Captain America like tearaway pants and have like Iron Man jeans on underneath, but you'd only have to be able to decide once.
I'm still hoping they're going to recast Captain America and use
Falcon.
No, well that would be cool because it'd be keeping in line with the comics. No, I mean acting's greatest treasure. The guy who played Captain America in the 1970s.
Red Brown?
Red Brown. Oh man, it's a Borg cube. You got to get out of there. And by Borg cube, I mean Borg. I'm D20.
Tetrahedroid. I don't know what it is.
You got to get out of there. That's
Squares.
worse than a cube.
You know, it would be cool if near the end of this movie.
Clued off, come on. Oh man, there's a fight going on.
Near the end of this movie,
That's
Punisher
D12,
comes in. and it turns into Punisher.
And
kills
they're all
the
like,
Marvel
Underoos!
Universe. No, Punisher kills the Marvel Universe comic book, where he literally just goes around and kills the entirety of the Marvel Universe.
You fucked up.
Yeah,
Before
but-
killing himself.
But then
All right, we gotta clue it up. All right, we'll be back
Bye.
next week.
I have no camera. Bye.